Socioeconomics is known as a branch of social science and economic that has been developed with various methods in the different kind of economic system such as Islamic economic and capitalistic economic. Socioeconomic in Islamic perspective is Muslim behavior who makes arrangement of the resources to achieve human well-being, which help them to perform their obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the same context, every different economic system had their own ideology in order to manage the resource from scarcity. Every different method used among the different economic systems are in line with evolving socio-economic conditions to get betterment in life. On the other hand, Sustainable Development Goal has been established in 2015 to overcome these challenges. SDG Goal 8 aims to sustain satisfactory jobs and economic growth. This set of goals will bring benefit for socio-economic development in the world, including Islamic economic and capitalistic economic. Indeed, further discussion regarding this topic will be explained in this video.
The main difference between Islamic economy and capitalist economy is that in secure capitalism, profit or private ownership are given the overwhelming power to make economic decisions. Historically, human restrictions have always been subject to change through democratic legislations, according to which they accept that there is no greater authority than human power. Therefore, this will create social imbalances. For example, interest rates and gambling create inequality among the population. While the Islamic economy believes and accepts the authority of God and its commands as the absolute truth. However, the Islamic economy does not deny the market forces and market economy and recognize the private ownership and profits. Islam has diverse restrictions placed on economic activities, and Allah Almighty is the one who mainly imposes these restrictions. Riba, interest rates, and gambling are prohibited in Islam. The combined effect of all these prohibitions is that balance proceeds, distributive justice occurs, and opportunities are equal. Through the interpretations of moral values, families, market mechanism, society, and good governance, Islamic economics aims to promote human brotherhood, socio-economic justice, and the well-being for all people.
A well-developed socio-economic environment can be seen through the wellness of the society in the place. In order to develop the socio-economic in the country, some problems will arise. They need to face some difficulties to ensure the development of socio-economic in their country is doing good. So, the first problem is scarcity. Scarcity occurs when human has unlimited wants, but at the same time, the resources are limited. In Islamic economic system, the scope of resource allocation is both limiting and extensive at the same time. It is strict in the sense that resource allocation must be made in accordance with Islamic values, but it is broad in the sense that resource allocation must take into consideration of market and non-market forces. Meanwhile, in capitalistic economic system, the resource can be used by whoever owns it, either to maximize their utility or make maximum profit from it. The next problem is, people in the country lack encouragement to develop the socio-economic of their country. It is easier to say that people did not have enough consciousness about the economic condition of their country. When people are not aware of the condition of their country's socio-economy, it will difficult the government to enhance the economy. Usually both economic systems face the same problem because it is human behavior that likes to stay in their comfort zone and it is hard to make a change. So, all the economic policies that the government tries to implement to their country seems hard to succeed. Last but not least, the problem of unemployment rate. Unemployment refers to a situation where people in a country hardly to get a job. In the perspective of Islamic economy, it is important to ensure the well-being of others' lives. If they do not have a job, how can they generate income for their family? Even though the poor can get the zakat, but they still need a proper job. Moreover, certain developing countries face this problem because of technological advances. This caused the labor to be no longer needed in the production process. So, these are all the problems that would arise in order to develop the social economy in a country. If all of these problems could be solved, the 8 SDG can be fulfilled, where the economic growth is sustained and achieve full and productive employment.
What are the effective ways to solve the problem of scarcity? And we have two talks, Western solution and the Islamic solution. And the Keynesians believe that the cultivating selfishness and the greed in the society will result in wealth. Various problems in the society will be solved if we have enough money. But the problem arises when the rich refuse to give part of the property to the poor. And how Islam reflects to the Western solution, and Islam doesn't agree with the Western solution because the idea of the accumulating property will solve every difficulty is opposite in the Al-Quran. It has been mentioned in the Quran, verse 23, ayah 55 until 56. Do they think that we give them wealth and children, we rest to give them the good things? They really have no idea. For the Islamic thoughts, the problem of the scarcity is approached in Islam in two distinct ways. Because there is no shortage by the rich, all that is required is for those who have excess riches to share it with those who are in need. Those who don't support the feeding of the needy are condemned in the Al-Quran. As stated in the Al-Quran, verse 69, ayah 34, nor that he urged the feeding of the poor.
Generally speaking, the incentive is one of the most important aspects to aid socio-economic development in the world. Incentive is anything that provides a motive for a particular course of action to be taken to drive people to work. Basically, in capitalistic economy, rewards people on the basis of their contribution in the economic activities. Here, material well-being is the motivating factor for people to work. Furthermore, the enormous freedom that bias towards private ownership in the system stimulates higher desire for material gains and consumerism, which then drive people to work hard to achieve those objectives and goals. In Islamic economy, the incentives are given to achieve al-falah in order to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Good Muslim will always realize that any promising reward in the hereafter by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for any good deeds is far more greater than any possible material reward in the world. All good deeds in this world are considered as form as worshipping if they are done correctly with sincere intention for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the other hand, even the capitalism and Islamic economy have different objectives and goals, but in order to develop the economic growth, the incentive also needed to preserve the environmental sustainability. Hence, the incentive must be used appropriately among the different economic systems which aim to develop human well-being and quality of life which in line with sustainable development goals.
unemployment can be defined as a person who actively searching for work but unable to get the job. The rise of the unemployment gives bad effect in economy of the country. Hence, the government and company need to take initiative to prevent the rate of unemployment increase. The first initiative to overcome unemployment is by provide training and assistance to the worker. This initiative will improve capability and morality of the workers to work in multitask. For example, simulation employer training and discussion between experienced workers. Next initiative to overcome unemployment is by structuring the location of the economy industry. This can be said that the government need to open a new industry to provide more work to the people. For example, like the rural area can be used to open agriculture sector with the help of funding by the government. Lastly, the initiative to overcome unemployment is by good list of policy by government. The policy is to ensure the supply and demand in the country balance. It was to make sure the country from being dumping with supply that make the company reduce their employer to maximize their profit. For example of the policy is fiscal policy and monetary policy. In conclusion, socio-economic development is important towards human and quality of the country. This requires a lot of action to develop socio-economic in country. Islamic economy stands with concept of justice to ensure equality in their people, while capitalism more encourage their employer to work harder to monopolize in their sector. Any incentive need to take to make people realize of the importance of socio-economy in the country. In a nutshell of both Islamic economy and capitalism economy have good view in socio-economy, but as a leader, they need to be fair in make judgment in economy. In response of the SDG 8, every decision made by the leader need to think truthfully in order to rise the rate of economy and bring good job to the people in need.